Let's talk about Derrick Rose. Officially announced his retirement. Last episode, we talked about him getting waived from the Grizzlies. He released a video kind of teasing what was going to happen, and then it was official. He is no longer playing professional basketball.
It was a sad moment, man, because growing up, Derrick Rose is the reason why I fell in love with basketball. Like seeing him come from Simeon, growing up on the South Side, and you felt his impact within the city. Like he was definitely a big name within the city. To see him go out, get drafted #1 to the Bulls, the whole city just had a buzz to it. Him going toe-to-toe with Brian them in the conference finals. And, Derrick Rose literally was he uplifted Chicago in a state where we didn't really have much. Mm. And he did that. And it was just damn, what injuries did to him was just, so, deflating. And, he never was able to get back to his normal self. And it's just sad, man.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest – he's one of the biggest, what-ifs in NBA history when they talk about, without injuries, what his career could have been.
Yeah.
And
the youngest MVP ever.
And I feel like we all got a little bit of connection. Obviously, you said it too, but D Rose is part of the reason I love basketball and I got into it. For when I was really getting into basketball, my mom had got me those playoff tickets I was talking about to the Bulls game, and I got to see him play. And then it was different. I feel like a lot of things we talk about were kind of like how Jordan, you talk about Jordan, how he's this ghost or whatever. I feel like it was the same thing with kind of Derrick Rose a little bit from where we come from. And when we had him on the Zoom call or whatever, it was just different, And I think that it kind of speaks volumes to the impact he had in not only basketball, but a lot of people from Chicago. And it's just touching to see that, he's kind of going out. I don't know. It's kind of bittersweet because he didn't really have much to do in basketball anymore. We know that he probably wasn't going to get picked up or play heavy minutes, but it's also that's another person we grew up watching kind of leaving the game.
Yeah. That's why I'm not as sad. I'm actually kind of happy.
Yeah.
Because I think D Rose exiting in peace. The fact that he made the video and how he made the video and explained that he's won't be in the NBA, but he's not leaving basketball. His son still plays. I'm sure he'll still be involved. He got Team Rose. Shout out to Team Rose. EJ was playing for them this summer. But the crazy thing about Derrick Rose, bro, after everything y'all just said, he is one of those people that, I swear Derrick Rose is my cousin. It feels like he's, that close to me, whereas I've never met Derrick Rose besides the Zoom call, in person, I don't think. Derrick Rose don't know who the hell I am. But it almost feels like he's just your cousin. It's damn, man, cousin just retired.
He was one of the people that I feel like you would just go to war for if somebody was arguing with somebody.
Yeah,
Derrick Rose.
Every time Derrick Rose's name come up, you always have these people on Twitter that try to take away the moment and bring up stuff. And I never go back and forth with them, but I always look at it and be do I just do this? Because it's just what y'all just whatever. But that's my dog, though. Shout out to D Rose.
And he had the best era to kind of do that MVP thing too, because it's around the time where it's the Heat came, and like you said, nobody really liked the Heat unless you were a damn Heat fan.
Yes.
And so for him to kind of be go, it was kind of like the Goliath versus whatever his name is.
David
versus Goliath.
The Goliath versus whoever. David won that fight, by the way.
I know. But anyways, it was just kind of that type of battle. It's man, this is different.
That's clipped, by the way.
One thing that I always remember, and I've said this on this podcast 1,000 times, I'll never forget, man. I don't have many regrets in life. I was a kid. Derrick Rose is one of the best players in the nation at this time. My dad comes into the room, says to me and my older brother, D Rose is about to play at the United Center. Big Steve got the going up there. Do y'all want to go, or do y'all want to go to y'all cousin
hotel party?
I think it was trail or something birthday. They're gonna be swimming and stuff, or we can go to Derrick Rose stuff. Derrick Rose was the guy, so we was damn, D Rose, whatever. We just gonna go swimming, or we could always go see D Rose. You know what I'm saying? It's just I kid you not, bro. The next day, you turn on ESPN, Derrick Rose is windmilling. He's windmilling on the United Center on people. I'm sure you can type in his high school highlights, and that's going to be one of the first highlights that pop up is him doing this dunk that I'm talking about with the LeBrons on. and we was sick. We was sick, man. I'll never forget. I wonder if my brother still remember that, but I'll never forget that moment, man, because I'm like, we really passed. Like, that always sticks with me. I'll see something, I'll see that highlight and be like, we really could have seen that shit. And we wanted to go swimming.
It's not as sad to me.
Yeah.
Because I think him dropping the video day before kind of nullified the blow a little bit. There's no other announcement that could have been done with him in that video. It was a video of him in his house with his kids. That's all you really need to know if you know the Derrick Rose history of I want to be there when my kids graduate and walk across the stage, yada, yada, yada. So when I saw the moment when the kids run into frame, I'm like, oh, it's raps. That's it. He's not announcing a business partnership or anything like that. He is done with the game of basketball. But also, the fact that he played the last 5 years, or at least on a team and contributed on the last 5 years, is special because his body continued to give out on him. So once we got to the fourth team in the third year of playing 30 games, I had in my mind accepted the fact that we were done with watching Derrick Rose.
Absolutely.
So his last year in Memphis, I couldn't tell you a moment of him on the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know if he had a specific moment.
It don't matter because he gave us the gift of that 50-point game.
Yes.
Like, honestly.
He also reinvented himself. A lot of people don't talk about that little Detroit era felt a little wasted because the Pistons weren't that good of a team. Derrick Rose was a 6th man of the year candidate, off the bench scorer type guy. Like, your Lakers could have used him, and it would have probably been a more prevalent thing because. But if we had that Derrick Rose on a contending team, it'll be looked at a lot more bigger. But because the Pistons wasn't that good, it kind of got swept under. But he was killing. He was. I don't think you remember. Yeah, but go look at your phone.
I'm gonna pull up his stats.
Yeah, that 6-man season with the Pistons, he was killing.
What Derrick said is so perfect though. He gave buzz to a city that didn't have a lot of buzz at it. The time the 2 to 3 year span of very good Derrick Rose, it was something the city needed. Yeah. And I can't even explain that to the people that aren't in Chicago or from Chicago what I mean by that. But his play electrified the entire city of Chicago.
I'm smiling looking at these stats. He wasn't this good, Pete. 18 points, 5 assists in 20-something minutes. Come on now.
6 man of the year, 7th. 6 man of the year, 3rd the next year.
That's crazy.
The previous year, 6 man of the year, 6th. MIP 8. He was in an MIP running.
It's as a former MVP.
I was gonna say that is kind of crazy.
And it's special. Like I've talked about before that I've gone through this offseason, watched a bunch of old games and stuff. And I did have my moment where I was watching old Chicago Bulls games, and the way he was moving has now become pretty normal with the Ja Morant or even Russell Westbrook from the same draft class. But when he was doing it, it was so very special. It was something we didn't see.
I still don't think it's normal. I do not think they move like him. They are athletic, but
he was like a power.
He was
athletic.
big.
He was strong.
He was like a strong
speed,
athletic.
the strength, and the 40-inch vertical is a deadly combination. And he was controlled. Russ is athletic, but Russ was never as controlled as Derrick Rose was.
He also always hooped like he was from the South Side.
Yep.
He was in his brand of basketball was so fucking Chicago, bro.
Shout out to Tom.
Hey,
Tom let him rock, bro.
Hey, the way he went up
a
with
lot
the
of
quick
coaches would have tried
layups.
to change that. Tom let him rock.
The way he went up with the quick layups and how he did the little double clutches, it always reminded me of he ain't did nothing but play 32 all day.
All day.
You just got 10 people in the hole, you still got to finish around
and you
them.
know why he said he was so crafty at the rim?
Because
he was small and everybody else was bigger than him, and he didn't want to get hit as a kid playing with all these adults. So he had to go up and under high off the glass, and it's the same thing with Kyrie Irving basically said the same thing. But it's, I don't know, to see the kid go in as a rookie, right? Let me get this stat line for y'all.
Read his book.
His very first playoff game. This man is 20 years old against the defending fucking champions. 36-11.
Who watched that game live? Who remember watching that game live?
I do not remember watching it live.
I don't remember watching it live.
I bet I was there, but I don't remember it.
Y'all fake.
I probably did watch it live. I just don't remember watching it.
That was an incredible game, bro.
Defending champions goes to a 7-game series with the 20-year-old D Rose. I
was sitting back just hoping that they won that series.
Celtics won 7 games with everybody that year.
Yeah, but they still
besides
won.
the finals, I think.
No, they lost to Orlando in the second round. 7-game series. Though.
Oh, then the previous. There was a year where they put.
Yeah, their championship run was 7-7, 6-6. It was a tough road. But even in this series, they made it happen. But even in this series, I don't know. They're just the defending champion, and it's like
I love that Bulls team.
I'm trying to figure out because obviously KG did not play in this series, so that's a big whatever. I don't give a. I literally do not care.
Rondo hip check.
But I'm trying to
Hurt.
figure out what the betting lines would have been. Like even without KG, they were still the heavy favorite. Nobody saw this young Chicago Bulls team that was 41-41 in the Vinny Del Negro to come out there and push the defending champions to the limit.
Ben
Insane.
Gordon, like Derrick Rose was killing. He was dragging it, but Ben Gordon made so many timely shots, bro.
We had that one Ray Allen game, and that was the series. Ray Allen, I don't remember which game it was, but Ray Allen spazzed one of these games.
It was in Chicago too, right?
Let me double check which one it was.
You know how he do it. He got to the arena 12 hours early, worked on this shot.
He had 51
Oh, yeah.
51.
in Game 6.
Damn.
Oh, the Bulls won that game. Whoa, I do not remember the Bulls winning the game. I
that
remember
the
him having
overtime
a
game?
crazy game.
One of the overtime game.
Yes, this game did go to OT. Went to triple OT.
Okay.
Gotta go rewatch it.
Damn.
Gotta go rewatch it, bro. Gotta go rewatch it. For Derrick
Triple
Rose to say.
OT.
Because he had a
triple.
game tying 3-pointer in that game, too.
Yeah, and Derrick Rose ended this game with 28 and 8 and 7.
28, 8, and 7.
That was just
I'm
timely
looking at, like,
buckets.
it said the top stats. It say 51 points, 9 threes, 3 assists.
That's crazy.
But yeah, obviously we never got to an NBA championship appearance, or we never got to see Derrick Rose be that good again. And I always think about this, and we're gonna talk about Kawhi Leonard in a little bit. That like, if only we knew that this was gonna be the last great version of a player. Like every time a big injury happens, you just assume, oh, he'll be back next season. It'll be all right. And Derrick Rose was back next season, but he still missed 30 games.
Mhm.
And then we went into the playoffs, and it was interesting to go against the Miami Heat, yada, yada, yada. But we didn't know that year, the youngest MVP year, was basically going to be the last real elite level, oh, my God, superstar year.
Mm-hmm.
The year going into it, he was ranked number 7 in ESPN power ranking. Like, even coming off the injury, they're like, oh, that's fucking Derrick Rose. We still believe it. And then, obviously, it went down and down since then. But
And I ain't forget either.
I don't know if an individual Chicago player will impact the Bulls as much as Derrick Rose did.
And I ain't forget. It's a lot of people making posts and shit. The city was turning on Derrick Rose and he was getting
Yeah,
hurt
they
like it was a
definitely was.
choice. So a lot of y'all can shut the hell up because I remember that's when I was ignorant. We ain't had no platform. I was on Facebook going back
All
and
the
forth for
memes of him
anybody
in
that
a
wanted it.
wheelchair, him on the bench. and all
Anybody
that.
that wanted it. We talking about somebody who was getting hurt and people questioning, like somebody like he going outside like, oh, let me tear my ACL today so I ain't got to play. I hated that much. That's why I don't like the Bulls, because they fans was pissing me off so much. I was ready to put hands on somebody, Derrick. And then I'll never forget, he went through all of that and hit that shot against the Cavs, the bank shot,
the
which
bank
I
shot.
remember where I was at too.
Yeah.
And then I saw all those people hop right back on the jock. And then that's when I was really pulling up receipts and like, come on, man. Chicago, they were so fake with that. I
What's
ain't
even
like that
crazy
at
is
all,
that
bro.
Derrick Rose is the reason why LeBron and D Wade and them consider coming here. Like we was right there.
I'm glad they didn't.
I'm
believe it or
glad
not.
they didn't either. Stay over there.
Try to ride our way.
There,
No,
Ja
fuck
Morant.
that. I want that championship.
Yeah.
I'm capping.
That would have been a guaranteed at least 2.
Yes, at least 2, probably 3.
I ain't heard you guarantee nothing before.
They would have shipped D Rose off.
Now you guaranteeing.
They would have shipped Derrick Rose off so fast. You know LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't working.
They would have brought
And
in,
Garpax
they would have
would've
brought
been
in
like,
an
okay,
old
okay.
vet, 30 plus years old.
You see, Pat Riley had to put his foot down. If Bulls wouldn't have done that, whatever you say. He's our hometown hero, but we'll trade him for Mario Chalmers.
Yeah, they put their foot down and look where they at.
What you mean? Look what they.
Look at who?
The Miami Heat.
Miami Heat done damn good.
Yeah, ain't got no more rings though.
They
Oh,
got
we
more
got
than
some
the
finals
Bulls.
appearances.
Bron was giving them at least one more if he stayed.
Was he?
I'm just talking. There's no Bam Adebayo at the
Well,
Miami Heat
you know,
if it's not
if
for
he
that.
would have stayed, we would have got Heat versus Warriors.
Would we?
So many different dominoes to fall.
Well, the next year, that's when the Warriors went to the finals and they met the Cavs. So I would assume that LeBron would have.
He would have just took them to the.
Yeah,
It was a time period where it was.
What if
it
the
was
Raptors
legit
would've
like
beat the Heat,
LeBron just coming out the East. We gonna see who
Yeah.
come out the West. That was a legit thing. For,
And then eventually ended up being, we know that the Warriors are coming out of the East. The West. We know that the Cavs are coming out of the West. You other 28 teams, we gonna act like we care.
Just irritate us for 82 games.
We gonna act like we care, but we know that y'all not beating these teams in the 7. I'm
So-
glad we're far away from that though.